Wilderness First Aid Made Easy is the only first aid textbook that replaces pages of text with intuitive, easy-to-use workflow diagrams. The workflow diagrams walk you step by step through the entire patient assessment, injury and illness identification, and treatment process. Let's look at how the workflow diagrams are used in treating a patient in the following scenario. You're hiking on a trail and you find a person sitting on the side of the trail guarding their right ankle. The patient states they stumbled and twisted their ankle. Following the workflow diagrams, you perform a primary assessment and you find that indeed the patient is experiencing pain in the ankle when you palpate it and when they move it. You move on to the secondary patient assessment. Take the first set of vitals. You ask all the sample history questions and you learn the patient is a type 2 diabetic who has not eaten anything or drank any water in the last 6 hours. They tell you they were feeling dizzy and weak right before they twisted their ankle. You notice their speech is slurred and they are slow to answer your questions. You take another set of vitals and you see the heart rate and respiratory rate is increasing. You perform a secondary physical exam and the patient has good circulation, sensation, and movement, although painful, in the injured ankle. You take another set of vitals and you see the heart rate and respiratory rate is still increasing. Because you did not miss any steps in the primary and secondary assessments, you learn that your patient did not sprain their ankle because they are clumsy. They sprained their ankle because they are hypovolemic, dehydrated, and they are hypoglycemic, they have low blood sugar. The increasing heart rate and respiratory rate is another indicator of hypovolemia. And if you only treat the sprained ankle and do not treat this type 2 diabetic for dehydration and low blood sugar, the patient will lose consciousness and die. We'll use the workflow diagrams found in the book to treat the patient. We'll go to page 21, hypoglycemia, where we'll provide the patient with 15 grams of sugar and follow up with feeding the patient high carbohydrate foods. Then we'll go to page 22 and treat for dehydration by providing the patient with water. And finally, we go to page 28 and treat the sprained ankle. The workflow diagrams helped us not to miss a step. Had we focused only on the sprained ankle and did not perform a thorough secondary assessment, we would have missed the underlying life-threatening illnesses and the real reason this patient twisted their ankle.